Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. So pull trousers down and get yourself settled and get your lighting. Okay. And then just this lovely rocking ourselves back into our bodies. So this is so connected. If you think of our beginnings, it was literally one cell meeting another cell in our mother's womb, hopefully, sometimes not. And from those two cells, look at us, trillions of cells. But the thing of when we're in the womb, there's that movement all the time. And when we're born, we're rocked. So it's such an intuitive, instinctive thing is to rock. So this rocking ourselves back into our body, which we start each session with, just enjoy it. So we're really nurturing that baby, that child that still lives in us. And that child who's sometimes very confused, but actually remembers, is imprinted those early hours of birth when there was so much love and care and all our needs were looked after. So we're just loosening the hips and rocking from foot to foot, feeling where the feet are, so that resonating with the earth. So we allow the ground to support us. Feel where the heels are, the little toe, the big toe. And then just slow down and come to stillness. Now, going to really check out where the weight is in our feet. Little toes, big toes, outside edge of the foot, and then just make sure you've got some weight in your heels. So there's a tendency to shift forward into the balls of the feet because the mind goes into planning and worrying and anxiety, or it might go back into ruminating and we go back too far back. Just plonking those heels down actually aligns the whole body, particularly if you float the top of the head up and have your ears over your shoulders, over your hips. Bend the knees, relax the buttocks, and place one hand on your lower belly, the palm softly, and the other hand on top. So you've got those wonderful energy points, the lagoon points of the palms of the hand over the Dan Chen, Heaven's Gate, elixir field over your belly, and those feet spread out. So the bubbling spring, which is an energetic point in the middle of the foot, is plugged into the energy of the ground. You don't need to know all these things, but just get a sense of having another source of energy. And of course, our breath is our life. So we're just relaxing shoulders, relaxing the chest, releasing the neck upwards, and just slowing the breath down. So as we relax the chest, free the face, buttocks, and shoulders, you'll probably find the diaphragm is liberated. So when we breathe in, the belly just expands. And on the out breath, the belly moves back towards the spine. Very gentle movement, may not be very much to begin with, but as we slow down, we find the depth of our breathing may grow. So to enable us to slow down, we have a sense of just releasing. You know, it's raining outside at the moment. Those drops aren't thinking as they come down, thinking, shall I go to the ground or not? They just fall. The same as we breathe out, we just let go. Boom. Pause, and then let that in-breath arise naturally, like a gentle wave lapping the shore. Which I can tell you today, when I was swimming, the waves weren't very gentle, they were far more fun. And breathing out. So we're just being with our breath, staying connected to the soles of our feet and the earth. We're just doing this simple practice of awareness of our body, our breath, the ground. Immediately we'll feel calmer, more at ease, and start to feel the energy that was tension being released back into the body. So breathe in through the nose, and you can either breathe out through the nose or through the mouth. If you've got stuff, if you had a particularly tricky day and you have stuff you just want to let go of and be present here and now, just open the mouth and just imagine, you can visualize what that stuff looks like, but you can start with it sort of being grey matter that you don't need anymore. Keep rebalancing the feet. You'll find quite quickly that balance through the feet will shift. It's very subtle, but this is something we can do in a daily practice. Keep shifting yourself back into that equilibrium of the foot, so that basically feel the weight through the heels. That really helps the mind to have a space. Now move the hands around the waist. So we've got the thumbs at the back, so the tiger's mouth, that gap between the thumb and the forefinger is open. Thumb at the back, fingers at the front. So below the floating ribs, above the hips, press those tiger's mouths into the body. So the belly opens on the in-breath, and then you feel the sides of the body opening. So you feel the pressure of that opening at the sides of the body under your hands. And as you breathe out, you can press your hands in a little bit, so you're really encouraging that purification, that letting go. So that letting go of all the toxins, either physically, emotionally, mentally, or all three together. Again, take your time. Just keep relaxing shoulders, buttocks, face, mouth soft like the sweet softness of a baby. Forehead calm and clear. Neck free, chest relaxed. Slow down. So you do this with total ease. If you find yourself going to that mode of I must get this right and trying hard, just give yourself a little shake. You can skip around the room, do something different, and then come back to it. So we adopt a more playful, joyful attitude to what we do, an attitude of curiosity and playfulness, like a little child. Okay, then we're going to move the hands around to the back. So over the lower back, sort of as high as you can, so you're sort of at the bottom of your ribs, over the kidneys. And this time we have that sense of breathing into the belly. So you can imagine you've got nostrils there, so the belly gets bigger, breathing in there, the side of the body. Then just bring your pubic bone very slightly forward and your shoulders very slightly forward at the end of the in-breath, and you feel the swelling under your hands through your back. And then breathing out. And you come back to the upright. Now, the other place I'm hoping you're starting to connect with, so you feel the belly opening, the sides, the back, as you slightly lean forward. I also hope you feel the pelvic floor moving downwards. And as you breathe out, the pelvic floor moves back. So it's like this Dan Shen, this field of elixir, is actually like a big balloon. So it's spherical, it's a round shape. So you're breathing in and that sphere expands like a balloon being blown up. And then it contracts on the out breath. So we have that sense of completeness in the lower body, in this whole movement, this internal massage through the breath, which helps to liberate the diaphragm so it's free to do what it helps us to do, which is literally to live, to breathe. So that when we breathe out, the diaphragm can move up through the body. So we do purify more thoroughly. And when we breathe in, the diaphragm moves down. So our lung capacity starts to become near its full capacity instead of just little bits, particularly the lower bit. And breathing out. So that movement of the pelvic floor is the lotus breath. And there's a little video about the lotus breath on my website. See the menu, Practice with Sue. Go to that. It's a short video. So you open the belly, the sides, the back, and go right up under your shoulder blades. So you really feel that opening through the whole of your back. So that movement deep, deep in the pelvis, particularly the pelvic floor, is connected to our subtle core stabilizing muscles. And that's the bit that supports all your internal organs. And it goes around like a girdle, sort of the lower in the pelvis attaches to the lower back. So it's very helpful to help support the lower back, where a lot of people have problems. So I recommend you have a look at the lotus breath one day. So let's just do one more. Feel those feet again, rocking back into the heels if you feel you've rocked forward into the balls of the feet. And next time when you breathe out, just let your arms drop and just have a moment of being quite still and checking yourselves out. How do I feel right now? You're feeling more ease, more grounded, freer in the body, and maybe a little tingling. That's your life force, your chi, starting to move around the body. And then just, again, we're rocking ourselves back into the body. And as you do this, keep relaxing the soles of the feet so we don't build up any tension in the soles of the feet. It's interesting, the soles of the feet. My Tai Chi teacher, years and years and years ago, last century, I can remember him saying very clearly, we hold most of our tension in the soles of our feet, but we don't notice it. And that's how we connect to the ground and coming to stillness, bending the knees. Now, loose fist, loose wrist, and knocking. This is called knocking. So some of you using the word tapping. So as you get more confident with this, just allow yourself to just swing your fists a little bit more in over your chest, over your sternum, underneath the shoulders, girdle. So you really are helping the lungs to clear. I mean, this is people who've got lung conditions. This is classical physiotherapy all over the lungs, often several times a day. But also, particularly over the chest, helps us to clear any emotional tensions. It's really got lots of different, and actually feels good as well. Just giving yourself, you can probably hear the noise that I'm making on my chest. Keep relaxing buttocks, keep rebalancing into heels. Keep a twinkle in the eye, keep your neck free. And then just drop one hand, open the other one, and take that hand across underneath the shoulder and then down the inside of the arm. So it's got a nice sort of slappy sound. That's the yin lung meridian. And then outside of the arm, large intestine. So we're helping all our internal organs up over the shoulder, base of the neck, and then back down again. And keep your body free. So don't get all stuck and wooden in your body. You can sort of almost dance it. So you have a sense of swaying around, allowing your body to react to the movement of the arms. So you have a complete sense of movement. And then just let the other hand come across. The cupped hand, very soft. Let's compare it to a Labrador puppy's paw. It's got that softness. And up the outside, right over the back of the shoulder, up the neck. And off we go again. Up the outside, whee. And down we go. Up the outside. And let's do just a little bit more knocking over the sternum, over the chest. Oh, you can even make a noise. Because you're all at home on your, well, you've got husbands lurking or wives lurking. So they can really wonder what you're up to. Okay, so now you can take the backs of the hands and knock over your lower back and as high as you can get. So again, this is for the bladder, like, not again, we thought about it. I suppose that rocking, we're connecting to the soles of the feet. That also connects to the bladder meridian. But here the bladder, the kidneys, all that purification, just getting all that sort of the energy going inside. Now turn the hands around and just slap yourselves on the bum. And then coming down the backs of the legs, the backs of the sides, up to you. And then go from the arch of the foot all the way up the inside of the leg. This is the bladder meridian, up the body, around the belly, and then back down again. Whee! And when you come up here, just making a fist and just knocking all over your belly. And then do you remember that fun one we did? We just knock on the groin and we're going to bend and straighten and bend and straighten. So I always think this is rather playful. It's like a little kid. It's almost like a 2-year-old having a tantrum in the supermarket. In fact, I challenge you to do this in the aisle, your local supermarket. You'll certainly have your social distancing, I suspect. And now just knocking. And if you go up your right side, over the top and down the left side. So I've mirrored you. Now I'm going to go the way for my own body. So I'm not mirroring you anymore, but we're following the path of the large intestine and the colon. So this is really helping you know, we need to eliminate freely, but not too freely, but not too tightly. So this helps to keep things in balance. And then just hands together and give yourself a big massage and come descending in a little spiral onto the Danshen. And then just rest, relax the shoulders, feel where your feet are, free the neck, soften the mouth. So the face is soft, no tight jaws, no tight lips. And drop the arms, check out how you're feeling. Okay, keep softening the feet. Every now and again, just get, sort of have a little rocking. So we get really used to rocking. So what to do when standing in a queue. Queues are big in our lives now. They always were in Britain, but they're even bigger now. So we're just gently rocking with awareness and just lift the arms up high, have a soft fist, and we're going to breathe out and bring the pubic bone forward without clenching our buttocks. Bring the fists together, ripple through the spine so the chin comes down, and then if you can bring the forearms together, do, but don't worry if you can't. Lift the elbows, take your tailbone back as you breathe in, ripple through the spine. At the end of the in-breath, open the arms wide, 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 and take them down, and breathing in, lift the elbows, pubic bone, breathing out, pubic bone forward, ripple through, chin down, fists, forearms, relax the shoulders, relax the feet. Keep the knees bent, breathing in. Just check you've got that balance through the whole of the foot. Those heels, feel the pressure underneath them. Out breath, bring the pubic bone forward, ripple through, bringing the chin down. So you're really closing the lotus. That pelvic floor moves up towards the body. Breathing in, take the tailbone back, belly open sides, and this time you're breathing right into your chest as you open, and breathing out. Bring the pubic bone forward, ripple through, chin down. This time we're going to add a variation. As you breathe in, turn your belly and your whole body to the left, and opening up, looking up. So we're adding a little bit of a spiral to this movement. Again, that's brilliant for the internal organs. As you breathe out, bring the pubic bone forward, come back to the front. So you're curling in towards your lower body and breathing in, tailbone back. And this time turn to the right and you're looking right up to the sky, and breathing out, the fists come together. Forearms, elbows, breathing in, lift those elbows. Really feel where the feet are. See if you can relax your shoulders. If your arms get tired, by the way, just drop them for a moment and then establish the position, because we're not doing an endurance test. Just finding a way to move our body with incredible awareness. And coming back to the front. And this time, just come to the vertical, look at the screen, open your arms wide, and then look right up and just feel your whole being do the hugest wow, wow, out, and coming down. So that big opening, that real positive gesture, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes we just fall into the negative. I'm not saying anybody here does, but the sense of, if I make a big positive gesture, maybe my spirits will lift as well. Okay, so we've got that established where the feet are. You can just widen your legs a little bit now. Outside edge of the feet on the floor, knees bent, and we're turning from the Danshen to the middle of your knickers. And we're going to knock on heaven's gate. So the back hand, the back of the back hand knocks against the middle of the pelvis, on the sacral area of the spine. And the front arm just wraps around the body and slaps across your hips. Now your chin, let it stay over the sternum. So the head is carried, the head and shoulders are just passengers to the movement of the pelvis. So it's an interesting one, this one. The more you take your awareness into aligning your thoughts with I am turning from my Danshen, the middle of my belly, the easier the movement will be. So you just get that deep awareness of the engine being deeply, deeply in the middle of your belly. And now just allow the arms to come up a little bit around the waist, sort of just below the diaphragm. And now we're going to let the front arm come up and slap underneath the opposite shoulder on the top of the lungs. There's a wonderful lunge here. Now, just keep resonating with your feet. So you've got that real support through the ground, through the soft feet and the heels, big toe, little toe, particularly the outside edge of the feet to protect your knees so the knees don't pronate. And if you wish, if you're feeling comfortable with this, as you do the slap, let your head turn right round and look behind you. So this adds, again, a little spiral. Again, that's great for loosening up the spine. And start coming down. You can either stay looking behind you or just leave your chin resting over your sternum. And then back down to the pelvis. And start to slow down. And just letting that coming down, and just resting. Check out how you feel right now. Bit of a buzz. I hope there's a bit of a buzz going on, and shake the legs out. Okay. So just bring your left foot forward and the left foot facing the front and the back foot slightly turned out. And keeping the spine vertical, just move the weight forward into the left foot, but feel the heel is on the floor. If you haven't lurched forward, put pressure in the big toe. That'll actually bugger your knees up. So you want to stay in the heel. And then moving back, feel that heel of the right leg. Now, just move forward and feel that heel and keeping the lower back stable. So you're not letting it stick out. You're not hinging at the hips at all. Just let the top of the body, sort of just very childishly, just let your shoulders go, the arms are very wobbly and the shoulders drop and become very rounded, but what you're not doing is sticking your bum out. You're keeping that quite stable. So there's a really lovely curve through the spine and openness in the shoulder blades. Okay, so now we're going to let the right shoulder get really, 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 really unbelievably heavy. So imagine you've got a big weight on that right wrist, and that weight just pulls that right shoulder over towards the left toe a little bit, and just drop, drop, drop. Now we're going to, so feel that weight, but keep the arm limp. Lift that right shoulder right up to your ear, roll it back. So there's a beautiful massage, and come into the right foot and drop the shoulder when you're turned from your belly to face the right side of your room. Now heavy, 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 heavy right shoulder, really heavy. Feel the heel of your left foot so you keep the knee stable. Lift that right shoulder, roll it back so you're really feeling that massage and let it drop. And so be quite playful. Like if I asked a child to do this, they'd really enter into it. They'd, oh yeah, probably make noises and just, and then riding that up, massage, 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 drop, release. So the release is through the whole of the shoulder joint and through to the shoulder blade. Now, just stay there for a moment and release even more. And release that lower back downwards so you're not sticking your bum out. I'm hoping you're feeling that diagonal stretch from the lower back through to the shoulder. Lift that shoulder right up, roll it back and let it drop. And let's do one more. Heavy, 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 limp, 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 limp arms. Soft face, soft feet, heels on the floor. And up it comes, wee, around and plop. And let's go back to the horse riding posture. And just notice, how does your right side feel? How's your left side feel? I know with me, my other shoulder's saying, yeah, goodness, I want a little bit of that, please. So we change feet. And again, we have that moment of awareness of where our feet are. Heels on the floor, outside edge of the feet on the floor. Head floating up so the spine is vertical. Now, doing that wonderful thing of just being 5 years old and just letting the arms there, without sticking your bum out. Now let your left shoulder get heavier, heavier, heavier. So it swings across your right foot, keeping that heel stable. And now lifting that left shoulder right up. Keep your left arm particularly like string, very limp. So there's no tightness under the upper arm. The elbow doesn't bend, it stays limp. And drop. Heavy, 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 heavy. Over. And roll it up. Coming back into the left leg, plop. Heavy. Whoa. See the noises I'm making. That whole thing of matching the sound and the movement. And you can do that at home. Roll that shoulder right up, coming back. Feel the heel of that left foot and the big toe, particularly, and the little toe particularly. And coming into the right foot, heel, little toe, big toe, but drop the shoulders. Release, particularly under the left shoulder blade. Now feel you've got it, you know, in those old-fashioned iron weights they used to have for scales in grocers. You may not remember, you might have seen pictures. But just let that arm feel it very heavy. And just start, if you can start to feel that diagonal openness from the lower back right through under the shoulder blade, right through to the shoulder. And then lift that shoulder right up and roll it back and come back into the left foot. Plop. And heavy, 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 heavy. Heavy, 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 heavy. Woof. And then coming back up all the way around into your left foot. Plop. And then again, the shoulder width apart, horse riding posture. How does it all feel? Okay, so hopefully you do it. So we're going to now turn from here. As you turn to the left, let your right arm swing up. As you turn to the right, let it come back and drop. So we're turning left and the arm swings up. Turn to the right, it drops down. So it comes up and feel where your feet are. So I'll just go slowly again. You're turning to the right and the arm goes back and drops. Turning to the left, it swings up. So the arm, so very free in the jaw. So the clue here is to relax the buttocks and relax the jaw and keep the neck free. Because we often have huge problems in our shoulders, jaw and neck. A lot of it starts with the jaw, tight ass, tight jaw. So we're just releasing those two places and allowing freedom in between. So turn to the right and drop, turn to the left, swing up. Wee. Wee. You can make the sounds if you like. Good place to breathe out. Wee. Breathe out. The in-breath always happens automatically. So just think of the out-breath as you go down. Whoo. You can make a noise of it. Whoo. Ha. Ha. And drop. Again, check out. How's your right arm feeling compared to your left arm? So now practice turning to the left. As you turn to the left, let your left arm swing back. Drop the shoulder, comes all the way up. Now turn to the right and the left arm drops down. So you're dropping, swing, turning to the left, turn to the right and let the arm drop. Okay, so that's a breather. And ha. So really feel your feet, really feel the body turning, and check you've got the outside edge of your feet on the floor so there's no disturbance of the knees as the body makes that turn. Wee, 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 wee. And drop, and just check yourself out. And of course we could do it the other way, but we won't today. You can experiment in your own time, swinging the other way. But there's lots of things. There's the wonderful one. Do you remember we do in the Tai Chi class that I've done with you as well? All these things, you know, the shoulders are a classical place of huge tension. And you know, it's nothing to be ashamed of because we get so many responsibilities in life and they just come into the tissues. But it would be nice just to loosen it up a bit. So while we are responsible people, we also stay a little bit free. Okay, so let's do our rainbow dancing, the one that I normally do in our Monmouth class, our Torfine Qigong class. So we're just going to let the arms open, keep your gaze in front, bend the knees outside edge of the floor, feet on the floor. Let the arms come up and just fold in. So this is rainbow dancing. And you're going to come into the right leg and just let the hips relax to the right. Feel that weight through the right foot and let that left arm drop and fold under the belly button. So you've got one hand facing the earth, one hand facing the sky. Turn your head to the left and let your chin drop. Let your hips flow out to the right and let your body fall over towards your left foot. But keep the right elbow open so it's a lateral bend. Let your chin really drop. Drop that left arm, swing it out. Now really feel where your root is. So you're dropping into the pelvis, into the floor as the arms come up. Then come into the left leg, turn the head to the right, let the right arm come down and underneath the belly button, palm facing the ground, and let that soft left arm drape itself across the top of your head with the palm out, drop the chin. So breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Swing the arm out and breathe into the belly. Coming into the right leg, turn the head, drop the chin, soft hands and arms as you breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Drop and swing the arm, breathe in as the arm comes up. Open the belly, coming into the left leg. Breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. Soften, 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 soften the feet. Feel where your heels are. Breathing in, knees bend, and wee. So this is called rainbow dancing. Think of the wonderful, brilliant, translucent colors of the rainbow. Can you just allow your whole body to be filled with those colors? And dancing, when we marry the movement and the breath, we instantly, without effort, become graceful. We're dancers. And breathing in, so just the joy of that name, the joy of the movement. Just feel your whole body smiling as we breathe out and relax over to your right foot. Coming back to your center and relaxing over to your left foot. Feel that right heel on the floor. And that real sense of root underneath your left foot as you go over, over, over. So the more awareness you have of the ground and that balance in the foot, the better your whole balance will be, physically, emotionally, mentally. All works together. Bend the knees. And whee, over, 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 over. So let's just do two more, taking a little bit more time. As you go into the right foot, you really release. And then you release a bit more. Soften the shoulders, soften the mouth, keep that left elbow back, soften the hands. Now let that left arm drop and swing. Bend the knees into the left leg and just let go, let go, let go, drop the chin. So there's no effort. We're letting gravity help to release the tensions in the body, in the spine. And then just pouring wonderful healing chi into the body and pulling this t-shirt down. And we'll just do the little swings that we've been doing. Or shall we do big swings today? I don't know whether I've done this with you, but it's called the pump. We're going to swing the arms right up. We're going to bend the knees and let the body come forward and swing the arms back behind us and straighten the legs a little bit. Drop the arms down and bend the knees, and the legs straighten a little bit as you come back up. So we're dropping, taking our tailbone back and drop and come back into alignment. So don't think of going forward. As you drop the arms, think of your bum going back and up. So here we're going to breathe out and breathe in. Breathing out and in. Wee. Yeah. And wee. Yeah. So it's really good for the legs, good for the breath. And our balance, because we're doing quite a free movement, awareness of the feet just helps us to stay in balance. Wee. Yeah. And think of it, as a kid, I used to love going to the playground and being on the swings. So we're making our own swing, that carefree, wee. And yeah, yeah. Let's do two more. 1 and 2. And stay there and take the arms out to the side. Turn the palms to face me, the screen. Bring your fingers together. So we've got what we call in Indian dance, patak, fingers and thumbs together. And just imagine somebody's pulling your fingers out. So the arms become very yang. They're strong and hard, and bend the knees. And we're going to breathe deeply into the belly. As we breathe out, we're going to take the hands wider and back at shoulder height. And if you can, look up. Think of your feet as you look up. On the in-breath, look forward and bring the arms back. Rotate the hands strongly to the sky. And as you breathe out, take them back at shoulder height and look up. And on the in-breath, look forward. Keep looking forward and visualize somebody's pulling those fingertips up high as you breathe out. On the in-breath, relax your buttocks. Breathe in, the hands go higher. The rib cage lifts. And on the out-breath, soften the arms and just allow the hands to rest. Feel the warmth of your hands on the top of your head. So we're connecting the chi of the hands with the chi of the head, the chi of the rest of the body. Now, straighten the legs. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, turn the hands to the sky. Keep looking forward. Press the hands right up to the sky and come right up into the balls of the feet. I can't do this anymore. And as you open up, but I'm sure you all can, open those arms and then bend the knees and let the arms drop as you breathe out, and let the arms totally drop. As we breathe in, bring the fingertips up to the shoulders. And on the out breath, let them really drop. So this is a wonderful thing of just releasing. So very connected to our craving mind. Very easy to gather, you know, too much shopping. Not so easy to let go of stuff. So here we practice unloading from our own body, releasing the breath, but releasing all the tensions to the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, the arms. And breathing in. Into the belly, the floor of the pelvis, the sides of your body in the back. So that wave breathing we started with. And if you really relax your arms, they'll actually fall against the side of your body. And let's do that one more time. Drop the elbows, fingertips almost to the shoulders, and on the out breath, keep checking where your heels are, relax the soles of the feet. Leave the arms where they are, take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, stretch those fingertips to the floor, rotate the hands to face the screen and take them down and behind you. Here the arms are yang, strong and hard, knees bent. Rotate the hands, breathe in, look up, reach up, knees bent, buttocks relax, arms yang. Now we let the arms go soft and weak, yin and heavy, and let them come down as we breathe out and drop. At the end of the out breath, squeeze your shoulder blades together. On the in-breath, take your shoulders right up to your ears. As you breathe out, let the shoulders drop, let the chin drop, let the whole body follow the weight of the head, the weight of the shoulders over. Again, we're not striving at all. We're just releasing over, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. Take a deep breath into your belly and spine. And as we breathe out, really think of the lotus breath now. Squeeze the pelvic floor, tighten across the pubic bone and unravel every vertebrae. Keep the chin on the chest and drop the shoulders. Drop the shoulders, drop the chin. At the last moment when the shoulders are over the hips, let the top of the head just float up. And taking a deep breath into your belly, etc. As you breathe out, fingertips stretching to the floor. It's like somebody's tugging them. Now feel somebody's taking your wrists down and behind you. Now this time, let your pelvis come forward, a little bit of weight into the balls of your feet, but drop your chin a bit. Rotate the hands now, breathing in, look up, reach up. On the out breath, everything just drops. Shoulder blades together. Feel where your feet are as you do that massage on the in-breath. All the way up, let the shoulders drop, let the chin drop, let the weight of the head and the shoulders take you over. So the more you have a root under your feet, the more free your body will be to drop towards your feet. Take a deep breath into the belly and spine. As you breathe out, squeeze the pelvic floor, tighten across the pubic bone, unravel. Breathing out, chin drop, shoulders drop, chin drop, shoulders drop. Leave the shoulders drop, let the top of the head just float up. Take a deep breath into the belly. All the way up the body and breathing out. Yang arms, feeling the outwardness through the fingertips. So if you want to take the pelvis forward as the arms go back, come into the balls of the feet a bit, and then breathing in, up you go. We hallelujah, and then release down. shoulder blades together, big massage on the in-breath. And then this long, 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 long release out, 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 out. Now just stay here. If you want to widen your feet a little bit more, do so. This time when you breathe out, just lift your tailbone to the sky a little bit so the legs will straighten a bit. And on the in-breath, bend the knees again. So as we breathe out, we just feel a little bit of a stretch through the calves and particularly the hamstrings. But don't overdo it. Just really sense where you are. It's good, this exercise, because you're doing it on the breath. There's no sudden jerking, muscle pulling moments. So let's just do that a couple more times. So on your out breath, you're straightening the legs a bit, but have the sense of the tailbone going higher to the sky. And bending the legs on the in-breath. And then one more. And breathing in. Okay, so just breathe out in that position without bending your knees. And as you breathe in, coming up, all the way up, arms up, pelvis forward, look up. On the out breath, take your tailbone right back and your hands forward, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. At the end of the out breath, just relax down. So we're breathing in, unrolling, swinging the arms up, pelvis forward, look up. Really feel where your feet are, tailbone back as you breathe out. You're coming forward to the screen, but the bum's going back and release over, breathing in, unraveling up, swing the arms back and up, look up. And then tailbone forward, over, 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 release, and breathing in, unraveling the spine, pelvis forward, looking up to the sky, bum back, arms forward and release. Let's do two more, unraveling on the in-breath. So the better your route, the easier this is. And let's just do one more. Let's unravel up and come to the upright and have that other big wow position out. That whole sense of openness. And then just give your arms a good shake and also the whole body. So you're bouncing up and down the knees, maybe your heels, so you feel the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders releasing, feel your legs releasing, your lower back, your neck, and through between your shoulder blades. So you're just feeling everything, having a jolly good shake up. And then come to stillness and check yourself out. That's another good way of just releasing the chi. Do you remember last week we did the growling thing, just to, but we won't do that this week. You might have already put it into your daily life. So just have a sense of rocking forward and back on your feet. So you feel where the balls of the feet are, little toe, big toe, but keep them all spread out and rocking back into your heels. So this flowing movement is starting from the earth up through the whole body. Okay, so we're going to breathe into the belly, and as we do so, we're going to rock back into the heels and let the arms come forward. As we breathe out, we just let the arms drop, coming back and rocking into the feet. Now, as we breathe in, just feel the energy of that rock and the in-breath is actually what causes the arms to rise. And the out-breath, we let the arms follow the path of the out-breath, that releasing. So we're breathing in, belly, rib cage, back, pelvis, and breathing out, softly coming back through. Yay. And just feel yourself. I mean, it's something we want to do in life is to flow with ease through life. So we model it, we feel it. We allow ourselves to lose ourselves in it. And so we've got a pattern. Like making clothes, if we have a pattern, it's much easier. So what we're creating through this patterning is a model that we can put in place in our daily life. Going with the flow, we have it in our language. So it starts with that sense of where are my feet? I can feel the massage in my feet. I can feel the breath filling my body and releasing from my body. And then I just let my whole body become liquid, but powerful. Think of the power of a river. Nothing weak about water. And the structure of the body is like the riverbank. So we've got that wonderful structure through the body, which we're aware of now through our Qigong practice. That poise, that ease, that groundedness. And then just hold, feeling like you've got a soft ball, pure energy in front of the Danshen. Feel where your feet are. And we're going to Buddha supports the earth. So the 5 elements coming up, looking at the sky, turning the hands toward the ground and then towards you and coming down. Again, there's a slight rock coming back into the heels a bit so as we breathe in. Sort of coming through the feet, through the body in breath. And as we breathe out, the hands face and we come down and rock back a bit. So here we really feel we're gathering loads of energy from the earth up through the body and we come right up into the air. And then we take all that wonderful energy of the air through our hands, pouring into the body as we release, purify with our out breath. So this is metal connected to air, so connected to the lungs. So we can add to that pouring beautiful white light, particularly into our lungs through the palms of our hands, but also the rest of our body. So filling ourselves with beautiful, shining, bright light, which radiates everywhere indiscriminately, like the sun. Doesn't choose who it shines on, it just shines. So we let our own light start to shine. Rocking, breathing in, coming up, turning the hands, looking up. And really feeling the fluidity of this movement. So the breath, the body, our awareness all matching. Feel the joy in that. Often we're all over the place. The body does one thing, the breath another, the mind somewhere else again. And now just come down, 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 down. Settle into your feet and knees and just visualize you've got this beautiful sphere of white light in this beautiful sort of hug of arms. The back is open, the chest relaxed, the buttocks relaxed, the neck free. And that light is pouring itself into our body. Drop the arms, come forward slightly into the balls of the feet and turn the backs of the hands and bring them together. As you do so, rock back into your heels. Come up the center of the body, move the belly forward. Little ripple through the spine, not a huge one, up the shoulder, girdle, and then open the arms so where your collarbone is. So here we're going to breathe out. Now we're going to breathe in as we ripple forward. Feel where your feet are and out breath as the arms open. So this is called the fountain. And this is the water element. And we just visualize this water, this energy coming up through the earth, right from the arch of the foot, inside of the leg, all the way up to the collarbone. And then we just let that energy be shared out there. So it's water. All our water works, but particularly the kidneys. And water, you see an ocean, it's a brilliant blue on a sunny day when there's a blue sky. So beautiful, transparent, translucent blue. Filling our body with that light and then letting that light shine everywhere. How magical is that? And particularly around the kidneys. Rocking forward. Feeling joy in this. And then coming back down. And coming through that slight ripple through the spine. That slight rocking in the feet. So you're really aware of the soles of the feet. That massage. Let's do one more. And coming up the center. Out. And this time, we let the palms of the hands face the side of the body. But then we move the hands back a little bit. So we visualize we've got this huge sphere of beautiful blue light. and bathing our kidneys particularly in this wonderful blue healing light, illumination. So that's the post posture attached to this particular movement. Okay, so I did the next one, wood, standing like a tree with you last week, and that's the liver. Now the liver is on our right side, so we turn to the right first, and we bring the tips of the fingers almost together, the elbows open, and comes up. It's like we're drawing energy from the ground, like a tree would, up the right side of the body, all the way to the top of the head. And you turn to face the front. This is like the canopy of a tree opening, coming down. So you really feel your root. And turn to the left this time, and again that sense of drawing energy up through the body, through the whole of the body, right to the top of the head, and then opening the hands. Now this is going to be your out breath as you open the arms. You pause the breath as you turn, and then breathing in, coming up, and then turning to the front, pause the breath, and then breathing out. And as you turn, you pause, and the in-breath as you travel up, imagining this energy coming up through the body, and breathing out. Now the color associated with wood is green. I'm looking out into the beautiful countryside here in Monmouthshire. It's wonderfully green, so that wonderful green, but light shining everywhere. So particularly into the liver. Bathe your liver, which is such a crucial organ in our body. Bathe it in that beautiful green light. But the whole of the other body, the rest of our body shares in that light. So coming up from the feet up, from the ground underneath you. And then feeling an expansion. So radiating that bright green light everywhere. And then coming up. And open. And then coming up through the body. And have a sense of joy as you just share all that wonderful energy you have in your body. And then we just hug a tree. Drop the shoulders, open the back, drop the chest. So there's a nice space under the armpits, but the elbows are quite relaxed. So my hands are quite a long way from my body. So I've got quite a big tree there. Palms facing. And keep the hands open, the fingers open. I always think they're like very ripe bananas. Yeah. Okay, so now we come on to the heart. And when you're going to let the left hand just face the heart center, the center of your body, and the right hand, the fingertips pointing to the ground. So you move into the left leg and you turn your body to the right. You allow the arms to change places. So the right arm is lifted, the left fingertips. Then you shift your weight into the right leg and you turn to the right. Whilst in the right leg, you change. So the hand is opposite your heart center. Shift your weight and then turn. So it's a bit trickier, this movement. It's called cloudy hands. In Tai Chi, we call it waving hands in clouds. And clouds, if you think about it, it's raining now. They are releasing, my goodness, tons of water. So we stay in the right leg, change the arms, shift into the left leg. Just keep breathing on this one. And then turn from your middle of your belly. You've done this enough. So everything on top is a passenger. Change the arms first. Then we shift. Then we turn. So we do it step by step. Change, shift, turn. Okay, so as we change, we start the turn and the shift. So we change while we stay on that foot, then we start the turn as we change weight. But we do the change of arms while we're in the left leg, but we can start the turning as we change weight, as we get to know it. Now here, we visualize beautiful ruby red light flowing into our heart center and the heart unfolding like a wonderful flower. So we're bathing our beautiful heart. It works so amazingly, regularly, 24 hours a day, all of our life. So we change the arms, shift the weight, turn. Change the arms, shift, turn. Beautiful red light. Change. This is fire. The fire of the heart. Yay. So it's at the emotional center. And this heart that gets so vulnerable, wounded, but full of loving kindness, joy, compassion. Shift, turn, change, shift, turn. Let's do last one. Shift, turn, and then come back to the center, and we're going to turn our hands with the tiger's mouth open, and the arms are slightly forward. This is called holding the golden urn. So we imagine light pouring out of our hands and into our hands, and really feeling it's just coming down into the heart center. So it's a slightly different, very different post posture. This one, just feel. I love that name, golden urn. So an urn is something that holds precious liquid. But here we're just dealing with light. And then drop the hands. So we'll do the other element, earth, next week. And we're just going to bring down the heaven. And this is where we connect through our mind, our feelings, everything. Head, heart, belly. So we start from the feet, opening right up into the universe, very spacious, breathing in. As we breathe out, we really have that sense of violet light filling the whole of the body, sweeping through the body. So the triple warmer. So I've got a violet t-shirt on. Imagine that, just pure light. I've just imagined it, actually, like I'm in a circus, full of sparkle. So this joyful feel where your feet are, relax your bums. Have that sense of joy as you open your arms. You know, that sense that we lose us so often. What does it feel like from the feet, from the tissues of our body? Not manufactured joy, but real release from inside us, our capacity for joy. So let's just do one more, opening those arms. Wee, up you come. Pouring that wonderful violet light, that sense of unity between the head, the heart, the belly, and then of course the rest of the body. And just quietly bring your feet together and just allow the hands to rest again like we started this session on the Danshen, Heaven's Gate, the Mind Palace. There's lots of different translations which give us a clue to this really extraordinary part of our being. There's another brain there. And soften the soles of the feet. Feel the top of the head floating up and let all the other muscles of the body surrender to gravity. And as you do that, just be quietly with your breath, your ease, your poise, and that sense of where the earth is. And just see if quite freely, without you having to instigate anything, the sense of swaying, you'll feel it, that shifting. So the name of this posture is the clue. Bamboo sways in the wind. So you're allowing the whole plane of each foot to get a sense of the pressure of the earth. Just enjoy that. I'm looking out and the wind, which we can't see of course, but I can see its effect. It's blowing the grasses in the field in front of me. So I'm becoming one of those grasses, and they still stand upright, those slender, slender grasses with the quite heavy seed heads on them now. The birds are loving them. Yay. And you ate grass today. Have you had any bread or rice? It's all a form of grass. Bamboo sways in the wind. Drop the hands. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, let's stretch those fingertips to the floor, turn the hands, and on the in-breath, keep looking forward and bring those hands together in the prayer position above the top of the head, but above the back of the top of the head. Okay, breathe in again. On the out-breath, bring those hands down to your heart center, but feel where your belly and your feet are. So it's quite a sacred posture, this. As we breathe in, we fill the belly. We're back where we start at the beginning with the breath. All the way up, and on the out breath, coming back down to the heart. Really feel where those feet are. Have a sense of your whole being. It's almost like a prayer, the whole body, celebrating life, the breath, that incredible vitality every one of us has. And as you come back down to the heart, let your right hand make a light fist and the left hand fold around it. I'm not mirroring you this time, so remembering the right hand, yang, that represents our strength, our toughness, our resilience, our ability to be in action, our confidence. So that internal power. And we balance it with yin, the left hand, softly folding around it. So that reminds us we're all very fragile, we're weak, we're soft. Vulnerable. Also, that softness allows us to adapt, so change no longer frightens us. We learn to dance on a moving carpet. It's our kindness, and from our kind heart we look at our screen and we offer gratitude to our companions this evening. We offer gratitude to the space we have to practice in. And we keep reminding ourselves how special that is, that we do have that space. So many beings don't. So the conditions have come together in our lives that we have a place to shelter, to practice. And then most of all, we offer gratitude to our teachers, whoever they might have been or are currently in our lives. And as we get to know this work, we then become a wisdom holder and a teacher, just by the way we now walk into any situation. Our body carries the memory of this Qigong session. And now let's do 3 big claps and shake yourselves out. So this is the Qigong movement I want you to do now. And when I challenge people to do that. So if anybody's got any questions or observations, unmute yourself and share away. How are you doing, Gavin, up in Scotland?
Fine, thanks. So it's a bit challenging this at the end of the day sometimes, but...
Well, just relax. And I think it's interesting you said that. And I think one of the big things is to how can I just relax in that and be where I am? And I can remember when I was teaching regularly, when I was a lecturer of movement at some of the major drama schools in London, and I would be flying around. I could be filming one day and driving up to Manchester another day and then flying up. And I just used to be exhausted. And I think, I've got to meet myself where I am. But I don't know whether you have this possibility. I used to go in and think, I'd say to the students, this is acting school, lie down. And it was brilliant because actually they needed it as well. They were probably exhausted. So it's that ability to meet ourselves where we are and not to have to put on a face, I'm okay when we're not, you know what I mean? And that's the heart of Qigong. So you see me doing something and just think, well, I can just maybe do a little shadow of that. I don't have to throw myself as vigorously into it. Is that helpful? It's a bit like in our mindfulness practice, that whole emphasis on ease. And if we are not easy, just to stop and let the mind wander. It's exactly the same in Qigong. Yeah. If I find I'm going into that, I've got to try hard. Just let yourself be a puddle. This is great.
I'm fine with that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments, questions?
Just feel wonderful go through. I just feel amazing after it.
Good, good, good. Lovely, Leslie. Glad to hear that. It's lovely to see you again. So Leslie is somebody who's been on Holy Hour with me a few times. So Gavin knows Holy Hour as well, you see, because Gavin and I were students together at university. Oh my God, when I say that, it sounds so weird.
Don't tell any stories now.
No stories. Any other observations? No?
Can I give a bit of, just a quick, so for the first time tonight, I began to feel, when we're breathing from the belly, I actually began to feel it filling up in my back.
Oh, thank God for that.
I mean, it's just tiny little things of it, but it's taken weeks to kind of just...
Well, no, it can take years, because actually connecting with those core stabilizing muscles, they're very subtle muscles, they're very intimate muscles, and we disassociate very profoundly from the pelvis. It's in a lot of our culture, you know, particularly in some spiritual teachings, some religious teachings, you know, being, you know, sexual, for example, and we don't talk about poo. So the pelvis is very challenging, but it's incredible, it's part of our life force. So we lose the support of all our viscera if we're all the time up here. So that Lotus Breath that I've put a short video on my website, and actually I've got pictures of the lotus and demonstrating, because it's wonderful images, helps to reawaken those core stabilizing muscles, which are crucial for our lower back support, our digestion, our circulation, but most of all, our confidence. Because if we feel, if that part of our body is stronger, we'll immediately feel more confident in the world we live in, because our own personal world is more supported. That's how it works. And the one thing I do say is tight jaw, tight arse, no core stabilizing muscles. So you can start by just softening the mouth all the time, and that's a good way to start. Softening the mouth, and every now and again relax your bloody buttocks. Any other observations, questions? Maybe that'll do for this evening.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome. So coming up, another Qigong class on Thursday, weekly mindfulness practice. Do come along, 7 o'clock on Thursday. And then can you kindly spread the word that I am scheduling another mindfulness course to start on Tuesday, the 28th of July, but there's a free taste of the week before on Tuesday, the 21st. It's a daytime course, so it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'm planning an evening one in September. But it may or may not happen. It depends if people sign up for it. But if you want to spread the word for me, that's how my work works, is word of mouth, basically. You know, I don't have an advertising budget at all.
Don't need one.
Thank you.
So much for coming this evening. And
Thank you.
have a good week.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm going to close the meeting. Press one button, and then another one comes up.